I think we've got our phone all set up the way I need it. I got a couple different lights on, so I don't know if I'm getting glare. I think I'm getting glare from this one, so let me turn that one off. And I think we can do better just like this. All right, let's bring this over. Okay, so 1986 Payoff pitch. Just got the PDF version of that about a week or so ago. Haven't played Payoff pitch in a while, so trying to get back in the swing of things after playing Strat and Inside Pitch and History Maker for so long. Sometimes you just have to get back in the swing of things. So let me get back to here so I can see what you're seeing on the video. Okay, I think we're good to go now. All right, so hopefully the lighting on there is okay without too much glare. I don't think there's a whole lot of glare there. There's a little bit, but not too much. I think we're okay with that. We are at Dodger Stadium, and I do like the way they came out with the newer style of the ballpark cards. I think it looks a lot tighter, a lot neater. Nice, easy references for errors and range checks and so forth. So this game is from Dodger Stadium, 1986. Hello, Phantomatic and Forever. 1986 opening day, Fernando Valenzuela of the Dodgers against Eric Schau of the Padres. And I did decide to go ahead and do a 1986 Padres season replay. Most of it's going to be offline, but I thought opening day would be neat to do it online. Just, as a one-time thing probably. I don't know how, it depends on if people want to see more games or not. I don't want to overload people with games they don't want to see. All right, let's look at the starting lineups. Oh, and I also forgot to mention as well that I do have the addendum for 1986 with some of the newer ratings that they have in there. So I've got these papers over here to be ready to go for that. Hello, Sports Time Machine. How are you? Forever. This is actually probably one of my first PDFs. Usually I do Payoff pitch printed set, but I am trying to save a little bit of money, so decided to do it. Plus, these things print out really large, which is good for somebody with the vision that's not 20/20 like mine. All right, so let's look at the starting lineups. We know that Fernando is the pitcher for the Dodgers. These are the as-played lineups, and I do have the pre-printed score sheet and ratings that Joe put out on the freebies page, on the resources page. So they're already pre-filled for me. That saves a lot of time. Half the time that it takes to play games offline, it's trying to set things up. Seems to be one of the biggest time consumers. So hopefully that won't be an issue. I think everything is going to fit in camera all right. You probably won't be able to see the whole score sheet, but that's okay, because I got the little buddies there to tell when people are on base and the little out thing to tell you when things are out. Let's look at the starting lineups for the Padres. Leading off will be playing second base, Bip Roberts. Batting second and playing right field is Tony Gwynn. Hitting third and center field is Kevin McReynolds. Batting cleanup at first base is Steve Garvey. Hitting fifth in left field is Carmelo Martinez. Shortstop Gary Templeton will hit sixth. Terry Kennedy, the catcher, will bat seventh. Jerry Royster, the third baseman, will bat eighth. And Eric Schau, hitting off pitcher hitting card number 5, will be batting ninth. For the Dodgers. Hello, RJL. How are you doing? Mariano Duncan's going to lead things off at short. Ken Landreau is in center. He will hit second. Mad Dog Bill Madlock at third base. He will hit third. Cleanup, Greg Brock is at first base. Batting fifth is Mike Marshall in right field. Franklin Stubbs is the left fielder. He will hit sixth. Mike Scioscia behind the plate will bat seventh. Steve Sachs at second base will hit eighth. And batting ninth, Fernando, using pitcher hitting card number 9. So obviously Fernando, traditionally known as a good hitter, or a very good hitter. I do have the fast action cards here. I'm only going to use those primarily for base runner advancement and some defensive checks. I do primarily on defensive checks like to use a combination where I'll use the defensive chart here to figure out who the check is on, and then use the 2d10s to determine whether it's the person makes the play or not. And I also have, for steals, I've got the jump ratings, optional jump ratings, so I'm not going to use automated steals. I'm just going to steal if I feel like stealing. All right, so I think all those preliminaries are out of the way. Let me try taking out that extra layer. I think that was giving me extra glare there. So let's see, is that better or worse not having that glare on there? Is it indifferent? Is it the same? Is it better or worse? Mike, I'm doing a 1986 Padres replay, but it's mostly going to be offline. I'm just happening to play this one online because it's opening day. All right, so we're going to go with this. I'm going to keep the score sheet off to the side because I don't think it's going to really. There's not enough room on the camera. Only goes so wide, and I want you to be able to see the dice. All right, we'll set up, and I want to leave room for the little buddies to get on base. So we'll set up Fernando. I'll put the ballpark card out of the way, or maybe where we can put. I think we can put the ballpark card here, and you can still see it. Hopefully. How's that? This is another one. I'm experimenting with my setup here to see what can be seen and what can't be seen. I think if I bring this down, I got room to bring this down a little bit, I think. And I might be able to put this up here, so let's try that. Don't want to cover the outs though. So let's see, I think that will fit. I think that fits everything. That's what I'm going to go with because that seems to be what fits. Of course, we're at 0 outs. All right, so Fernando Valenzuela finishing up his warm-up tosses. And we are ready to go here from Dodger Stadium. And Dodger Stadium, I didn't realize this, but according to their ratings, they have a much better wheelhouse for left-handed batters than they do right-handed batters. I was thinking it was kind of symmetrical, but that's what they're showing, so I'm just going to go with it. I'll trust Joe's ratings, so we'll see. All right, Fernando on the mound facing Bip Roberts. That's a 7, which is tough. Tough 47 for Bip Roberts against a left-hander is just out of range. 42 was needed to get a hit. 47 drops us down to a ground ball back to Fernando. So that's going to be an easy 1-3 put out. And there's one away. And that brings up Tony Gwynn. 2 is wheelhouse for Fernando, and that's a 14. Gwynn in the wheelhouse against a lefty. It is gone. Tony Gwynn takes Fernando deep. Thanks to that 2 on the D6s, put him in Fernando's wheelhouse, and the 14 on the D10s took care of it. And how about that? Tony Gwynn, not known for a whole lot of power, although he did hit 14 home runs, and he actually had more power against lefties than he did righties. So how you like that? 1-0 Padres on the Tony Gwynn homer. Not what you expect from Tony Gwynn, but hey, there it is. Here's Kevin McReynolds, center fielder. Get a 10, which is ballpark, and that's a 54. But for a right-hander, that's going to be the in-play result. If he'd been left-handed, it would be a wheelhouse, but right-handed is in play for Kevin McReynolds. And against a left-hander, he needs a 30 or less to get a hit. And he got an 86, and that's going to change that to a ground ball to short. So 2 down, and that brings up Steve Garvey. 8 is tough. 61 for Garvey. Tough is out of range. 61's a fly to right, and that's hauled in by Marshall. And that's going to take care of it. Padres, though, take a lead 1-0 on the Tony Gwynn homer. And we go to the bottom of the first. San Diego 1, and the Dodgers coming to bat. Eric Schau finishing up those warm-up tosses. Will be facing Mariano Duncan. Facing Schau to start off the bottom of the first. Get a 7, which is tough. 87. Tough 87 out of range. It's a ground ball to short. Templeton will flip to Garvey. And there's one away. And that'll bring up Kenny Landreau, center fielder. 8, which is tough again. 86. 86 is going to be a ground ball to second, handled by Bip Roberts. So 2 up, 2 down. And that's going to take us to Bill Madlock. 9 is Patient 71. Patient 71 just missed getting a hit by pitch. But 71 is going to be a ground ball to second. Roberts has got it again. Shao's got the ground ball working. And after 1 complete, it is 1-0 Padres as we go to the second. And like I said, I haven't played payoff pitch in a while, so I'm trying not to forget anything. Trying to remember all the proper checks. Good thing Mr. Robert is here to school me in case I get something out of line. All right, here is Fernando. 8 is tough. 0-4, that's a strikeout. So Fernando gets his first strikeout of the game, getting Carmelo Martinez. And here's Gary Templeton. 8 is tough. 0-3, it's another strikeout. So Fernando coming back with a vengeance here in the second. Didn't like giving up that home run. Here's Terry Kennedy, lefty on lefty. That's a 7, which is tough. 44. Tough 44 is another strikeout. So Fernando strikes out the side here in the second. He wasn't playing around. 1, 2, 3 go the Pods. And we go to the bottom of the second. Still 1-0. And now Greg Brock, the first baseman, will lead things off for the Dodgers. It's a 9, which is a Patient 50. Patient 50 is a base hit for Greg Brock. Solid single for Brock. He's not much of a base stealer. He got caught. He stole 2 bases, got caught 5 times, so he's going to stay put. That'll bring up Mike Marshall. 3 is Patient 46, and a 46 Patient is a base hit. So now we go to the fast action card for base runner advancement, and it says runner on first advances 1 base. So Brock will make it to second. So runners are at first and second with nobody out for Franklin Stubbs. 11 is Ballpark 17. That's in the wheelhouse. Franklin Stubbs' wheelhouse is 1-80 for a home run, so it does not look good for Eric Shao whatsoever. And it is gone. Franklin Stubbs, a 3-run bomb. And Tommy Lasorda's happy again as the Dodgers lead it 3-1. And Fernando now can enjoy his lead. 3-run bomb. And that'll bring up Mike Scioscia. Still nobody out. That's a 4, which is in play, 62. That's out of range. It's a ground ball to Templeton. And there's 1 away. And that'll send up Steve Sachs. 5 is in play, 84. That's way out of range. 84 is a ground ball to Templeton again. 2 down, and that brings up Fernando off pitcher hitting card number 9. 5 is in play, 98. That's going to be a fly to left. Innings over, but damage done. 3-run homer by Franklin Stubbs. And the Dodgers lead it 3-1 as we go to the top of the third. Fernando coming back out now with a little more pep in his step with a 3-1 lead. And that will bring up Jerry Royster. 9 is Tough 89. Tough 89, well out of range. It's a ground ball to short. And Mr. Mario Duncan fields that 1 away. Here's Eric Shao, pitcher hitting card number 5 for Eric Shao. And that is an 8, which is tough, and that's 0-2. That's a strikeout. So 2 down. And that brings us to top of the order, Bip Roberts. 6 is in play, 35. In play, 35 against a lefty is out of range. Against a righty, he would have gotten a hit. Against a lefty, it's out of range. It's a pop-up to Steve Sachs. And the Padres go in order. 1, 2, 3. It could be a long season for Padres replay. I think they were 73 and 89 on the season. So not necessarily playing this thing to see how many, if I can make the playoffs or anything. I was a Padre fan back in the mid 80s, so, and I want to play something with National League that doesn't have the DH. So that's how I kind of picked this. didn't want to really play a really good team like Houston or the Mets. I wanted to play somebody kind of middle of the road. Thought about doing Cincinnati, but I decided to go with San Diego. All right, so bottom of the third, 3-1 Dodgers, and it's going to be the top of the order, Mario Duncan. Hit an 8. That's tough. 91. Tough 91 is a fly to left. Pulled in out there by Carmelo Martinez. 1 away. That brings up Ken Landreau. That is a 4, which is in play 16. In play 16 is a base hit for Landreau. So Landreau gets aboard with a 1-out single. And Landreau, not really much of a stealer. He did steal 10 bases, but he got caught 5 times. Plus you got the big boys coming up. So Madlock is up. 4 is in play 04. In play 04 is a double. Bill Madlock cracks a double. Padre bullpen could be going early and often. We will check runner advancement on a double. And it says runner on first advances down here. Runner advances 2 bases on the double. So he cannot score. He will stop at third base. So runners are at second and third with only 1 out, and the infield will have to come in. They can't give another cheap run. So Greg Brock, the batter, and Shao could really use a strikeout. 11 won't get it. That's a ballpark 41, and that's in the wheelhouse for a left-hander. And Greg Brock is a 1-80. This could probably be it for Eric Shao right here. A 1-80 is going to probably be another 3-run homer, which will be Eric Shao's departure. And it is. Eric Shao will depart on Greg Brock's 3-run homer. So he's given up 2 3-run homers. And the Dodgers look more like the Orioles of the 70s with those 3-run homers. It is now 6-1, and that's going to do it for Mr. Shao. He only goes 2 1/3. So rough outing to say the least. And let's see who's coming up for the Dodgers. It's Marshall, Stubbs, and Scioscia. A couple of lefties and 1 righty. So let's see how they want to play this. They probably need somebody a little bit of length, so I'm going to go with Lance McCullers. Lance McCullers is your new pitcher for the Pods. And let's see, 6 runs all earned on 2 homers by Shao. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. No walks and no strikeouts. Ooh. An ugly outing for Eric Shao. 2 1/3, 6 hits, 6 runs, no walks, no strikeouts, and 2 home runs. So 3-run homer by Stubbs and a 3-run homer by Brock. It is now 6-1 Dodgers. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Lance McCullers, the new pitcher, will be facing Mike Marshall. That's a 6, which is tough. 21, that's a strikeout. So McCullers gets the strikeout for out number 2. But now Fernando has been given a huge lead, 6-1. Here's Stubbs, who had the 3-run homer his first time up. That's a 7, which is in play 20. And that's a base hit for Franklin Stubbs. So Franklin Stubbs, 2 for 2. This one just a mere single. He's not going to try to steal or anything. Here's Scioscia. That's a 10, which is patient 60. Patient 60 for Scioscia is a walk against a right-hander. So he will draw the base on balls to put 2 on base with 2 outs. As Stubbs saunters to second base. 2 down for Steve Sachs. 5 is tough, 33. Now 33, we would normally have to check for a wild pitch, but McCullers' wild pitch rating only goes to 31. So since that's a 33, it's no wild pitch. Had this white die been a 1 or a 0, this would have been a wild pitch. But 33 is out of range, so we can just play it as normal. Tough 33, and Steve Sachs is going to get himself a base hit. Look at that, 29-41 is a hit. So Steve Sachs gets himself a hit. The run rating on Stubbs is a 6, which means he scores from second automatically when there's 2 outs. So another run has scored. Now, can the runner Scioscia, let's see if he gets to third base. Check the runner on first. Advances 2 bases on the hit, so he will get to third. So Scioscia gets to third. So there's 2 down, runners on the corners, and Fernando, the 9th man to bat in the inning, will step to the plate. It's now 7-1 Dodgers as they put 4 on the board. McCullers 7 is in play, 73. 73 in play, well out of range. 73 is a fly to center to end the inning. But a 4 spot is there. And the Dodgers now well in control of this game, 7-1. And Padres having some issues. I believe Steve Boros was the manager for the Padres. And he's looking for game 2 already to get past this game. Give it a try in game 2. We can reset. Here's Tony Gwynn. He homered his first time up. That's the only run that Padres have. 12 is Patient. That's a 99 though. That's going to be a fly to right field. Mike Marshall will field that one. And if I start going into Chris Bermanisms, it's because the score is 7-1. All right, here is McReynolds. 6 is in play, 81. In play, 81 against a lefty. Doesn't matter. To fly to center. Landreau makes the play. 2 down. And that will bring up Steve Garvey. 6 is in play, 68 against a lefty. Is well out of range. Ground ball to Sachs. And so no problem there for Fernando. In fact, the only hit he's allowed is the home run. So Steve Garvey broke up the shutout and the no-hitter in one swing, but he's given up nothing since. Top of the order for the Dodgers, Mariano Duncan here in the bottom of the 4th, leading 7-1. 9 is Tough 22. Tough 22 struck him out. First strikeout for, second strikeout rather for McCullers. He struck out Marshall when he first came in. So second strikeout for McCullers. That'll bring up Ken Landreau. 5 is Tough, and that's an 83. Tough 83 is going to be a fly to center. That's out number 2. McReynolds puts that one away. And here's the Mad Dog, Bill Madlock, borderline Hall of Famer. 5 is Tough 51. Tough 51 just out of range. That's a ground ball to Garvey. He'll step on the bag himself to end the inning. And finally, a 0 is on the board for the Dodgers. Score 7-1. 7-1 as we start the 5th. And the fatigue rating on Fernando is 8, so he's got a good chance of a complete game if he doesn't give up a whole lot of runs. He could very well get a complete game, or close to it anyway. Here's Carmelo Martinez. This is the stretch where Fernando struck out the side. Martinez, Templeton, and Kennedy. 10 is Ballpark. 95, though, is going to be an in play. So in play for Martinez, he needs a 25 or less. And he doesn't get it. 48 is going to be a ground ball to third. Madlock to Brock, 1 away. Very clean score sheet here for the Padres at the top. They just haven't done anything. Here's Templeton. 9 is Tough 30. Tough 30 is a strikeout. So yet another strikeout for Fernando. 2 down. It is 7-1. Dodgers firmly in control. Here's Terry Kennedy. 4 is Tough 94. That's going to be a fly to right to end the inning. So 4.5 in the books. It's still 7-1. Dodgers comfortably in front. McCullers in for 1 more inning. And actually, he will not be. Let's see how many innings. He's pitched 2 innings, so I think that's going to be it for McCullers. He's going to go 2 innings and that's it. Actually, he went 1 2/3, didn't he? 1 and 2. You know what? They're going to let him stay in there. Here's Greg Brock. 5 is Tough 24. Struck him out. So Brock is out of there. That'll bring up Marshall. 5 is Tough 07. Another strikeout. Some McCullers trying to finish with a flurry of strikeouts. And that will bring up Franklin Stubbs. 4 is Tough 34. Tough 34 struck him out. So McCullers strikes out the side. So he's going to end up with 2 2/3 innings pitched and giving up 1 run. Let's see, he struck out 5, walked 1, and gave up 2 hits. So much better than his predecessor for sure. We go to the top of the 6th, and we need a pinch hitter coming up for the Padres because the pitcher McCullers is scheduled to bat second. And Jerry Royster will lead it off, but then he's going to be followed by a pinch hitter. And let's see who they got on the bench they can use. Most of their guys on the bench are left-handed because Fernando, the lefty, is on the mound. But they're going to go with John Kruk. He hits pretty well against lefties. So it's going to be Royster, Kruk, and Roberts. John, I am not a Kruk. So John Kruk will pinch hit. But first things first, it is Jerry Royster. 9, that's tough. 92, that's a fly to left. Hauled in out there by Mr. Stubbs, 1 away. And now John Kruk, the pinch hitter. John Kruk. He did hit 304 against lefties. 6 is in play 45. In play 45, out of range. It's ground ball back to Fernando for an easy 2 up and 2 down. And Kruk is retired. Here's Bip Roberts. Still the only hit he's allowed is a Gwynn home run. 10 is ballpark 20. Ballpark 20 is going to be a wheelhouse check for Bip Roberts. It's only a 1-8 for a home run because he has very little power. He hit 1 home run on the season. It was against lefties, so he's got a 1-8 chance. So not very likely. It's an 87. That's even worse. It's not even going to be a hit. 87 is going to turn out to be a ground ball to second. And so even when Fernando puts it in the wheelhouse, the Padres cannot take advantage of it. And we got another 1-2-3 inning as we go to the bottom of the 6th, still 7-1 favor of the men in blue. And now we need a new pitcher for San Diego. As coming up for the Dodgers, it'll be Scioscia, Sachs, and Fernando. So the Padres will turn to left-hander Gene Walter. Gene Walter, the lefty, will be coming on. Gene Walter. See what he can do. Facing Scioscia. 2 is tough. 12 is a strikeout. So Scioscia out on strikes. 1 down. Here's Steve Sachs. 11 is patient 81. Patient 81 against a left-hander is out of range. 81 against a righty would have been a hit. Lefty's out of range. 81 is a fly to center. 2 down. That brings up Fernando. You're not going to pinch hit for Fernando. Walter, 8 is tough. Tough 90. Look at this. Fernando, pitcher hitting card number 9. A tough 90 is a single. So Fernando with a 90 gets a base hit. Wow. Fernando is doing it all. 2 down for Mariano Duncan. 10 is in play 28. In play 28 against a lefty is a base hit for Duncan. Now let's see if Fernando can labor to get the extra base. Run on second advances 1 base, so Fernando will stop at second base as you might expect. So runners at first and second, 2 down for Ken Landreau, lefty on lefty against Walter. He's trying to get out of the inning. I missed the black die, didn't go through. Let me put that through there now. 7 is tough 57. Tough 57 is out of range. 57, ground ball to third. And that's going to end the inning. No runs, but the Fernando hit was 1 of 2 hits in the inning. We go to the 7th. It is still 7-1. Firmly in the favor of the Dodgers. Fernando back out facing Tony Gwynn, who's got the only hit of the game. It's a home run that gave the Padres a 1-0 lead at the time, but that seems long ago. Hello, Kurt. How you doing? Sean D. Red Fan Rod. Sorry, I've been keeping up with the chat. I've been kind of trying to make sure I don't mess up this game. All right, so I hope I mentioned everybody. I think I did. Hope so. Tony Gwynn, 7-1. Let's just show the score sheet. It's ugly, but I'll show it anyway. 7-1 Dodgers. Recap for people that came in late. 3-run homer for Franklin Stubbs in the second, and a 3-run homer by Greg Brock in the third. chased starter Eric Schau early and often, and they lead at 7-1 as we go to the top of the 7th. And Fernando is pitching a one-hitter. His only hit allowed was a Tony Gwynn homer in the first inning. So now you're all caught up. Hello, Salvador. How are you doing? Yes, they are stomping the Padres here on opening day. So they're making the Chavez Ravine fans very happy, and Fernando is making Tommy Lasorda very happy. Gwynn, 5 is patient 80. Patient 80 is out of range. 80 is going to be a fly to center. So Fernando, without that home run by Tony Gwynn, he'd be working on a no-hitter right now. But had that one mistake pitch. Here's Kevin McReynolds. 6 is in play 36. In play 36, out of range. 36 is a pop-up to Greg Brock. 2 down. That brings up Steve Garvey, Mr. Clean. 4 is tough 32, and that's a double. Steve Garvey fights off the tough pitch and gets himself a double. 1 to 31 was a strikeout, but a 32 and a 33 is a double. That is a 32. So second hit of the game for the Padres. It is a double by Steve Garvey. So Garvey's aboard with 2 down for Carmelo Martinez. He's 0 for 2, like most of the Padres are, with a strikeout. 6 is in play 11. In play 11, that's going to be another base hit. We'll see if the runner can score. Garvey only has a 4 running rating, so the 2-out 6 base runner is not going to help him. We'll have to go to the fast action card to see if he scores or not. And the runner on second does score according to this. So RBI single for Martinez cuts the lead to 7-2 as Garvey comes in to score. 7-2. And that'll bring up Gary Templeton. Gary Templeton, runner now at first and 2 down for Templeton. And that sends up a 7, which is tough. 0-4, that's a strikeout to end the inning. So Fernando gives up another run, and we've hit the 7th inning stretch here in LA at Dodger Stadium. And if anybody came in late, I like the new style of the ballpark cards, the new formatting. This looks really clean to me. So, bottom of the 7th, we go. Gene Walter still in there, facing Madlock, Brock, and Marshall here in the bottom of the 7th. Walter, let's see. You know what? They're going to take Walter out. They're going to replace Walter with right-hander Tim Stoddard. So Tim Stoddard, the righty, will be coming on. Tim Stoddard. And he will be in to face Madlock, Brock, and Marshall. 2 out of 3 are right-handed. So we go to Madlock against Stoddard, who's got wheelhouse at 2 and 12, and a lot of patience. 8 is tough, though, 52. Tough 52 is a liner right to Gary Templeton. 1 away. That'll bring up Greg Brock. Nine, which is patient, but it's a 91, so that 91 is going to turn to a ground ball to second. Bip Roberts puts it away. 2 up, 2 down for Mike Marshall. 10 is patient, 98 though, fly to left. So 1-2-3 inning for Tim Stoddard as he goes 1 inning and gets it done. Gene Walter went 1 inning, forgot to do his totals. Walter gave up 2 hits and no runs, and he didn't walk anybody, struck out 1. And for Stoddard, he goes 1 inning and gives up nothing. And they'll pinch hit for Stoddard here in the top of the 8th because he's set to bat 3rd. So we'll get a new pitcher for the Padres in the bottom of the 8th. But Fernando is going to come back out. This is his fatigue inning, so we'll keep an eye on him. It's Kennedy, Royster, and a pinch hitter for the pitcher. Already used John Kruk. The only lefty they got left, only right-hander they have left on the bench is Bruce Bochy, and that's who we're going to have pinch hit, Bruce Bochy. So it's going to be Kennedy, Royster, and Bochy. So Bruce Bochy will be the pinch hitter. And the Dodgers got some activity in their bullpen, just kind of light tossing down there, just in case Fernando runs into trouble. Kennedy. 8 is tough. 20, that's a strikeout, so no trouble there for Fernando. 1 away for Jerry Royster. 7-2 Dodgers, top of the 8th. 5 is patient. 0-2, that's a walk. First walk issued by Fernando in the game, and it is to Royster with 1 out. Now the pinch hitter Bruce Bochy, not Bochy, Bochy. 4 is tough. 24, that is a strikeout. So Bochy pinch hits and strikes out for 2 down. And that will send us to Bip Roberts. And Craig Lefferts will come in and pitch the 8th for the Padres. 10 is ballpark, which is 72 for a right-hander. That is in play. So we got an in-play result for Mr. Bip. That's an 85, well out of range. 85 is a ground ball to second. That's the 3rd out of the inning, so no double play to worry about. And the inning's over. So Fernando goes 8 innings. Now I think we're going to cap Fernando at 8 innings. I think they're going to go ahead and just give him the rest of the game off since they have such a big lead. And Craig Lefferts, the lefty, is in for the Padres. He is the 5th pitcher used by San Diego. And he will be facing Stubbs, Scioscia, and Sachs. And if anybody gets on, a pinch hitter for the pitcher, Fernando. But Stubbs, lefty on lefty. See how they want to play this. Lefty on lefty against Craig Lefferts. 7, tough. 48, tough 48. And Stubbs fights that off for a base hit. So Stubbs now 3 for 4, including a homer. And he's having a whale of a game, as they say. Here's Scioscia. 10 is ballpark. 37, that's the wheelhouse. Against the lefty, though, is only 1-18 for Scioscia for a home run. To 46, which is just out of range. 46 is going to be a ground ball to third. First chance for a double play all game. Double play rating of Lefferts is an 8. Scioscia's a 7. We will re-roll the D6s and see what we get. And it is a 7, so it's a double play. How about that? Double play, and that's going to go. 46 went to third. It's a 5-4-3 around the horn for 2 quick outs to clear the bases and bring up Steve Sachs. We get an 8, which is in play 38. In play 38, and that's a base hit for Sachs against the lefty. The last number in his hit range is a 38. So Sachs does get that base hit. And now we will get a pinch hitter for the Dodgers. And it will be Enos Cabell. Right-handed hitting Enos Cabell, former Astro, will be in to hit. Enos Cabell. See what he can do. That's a 5, which is in play 59. Out of range. It's a ground ball to third to end the inning. So Cabell is out of there. But nothing doing there for the Dodgers. We go to the top of the 9th. It's 7-2. I would say last chance for the Padres, but I don't think there's a realistic chance, so I'm not going to belabor the point there. Tony Gwynn will lead things off, but we need a new pitcher for the Dodgers as Fernando was lifted. So we're going to get, let's see here, they've got a lefty and 2 righties coming up. So who do they want to turn to here? They're going to go to, well, they got their choice. A couple of righties. They're going to go to Tom Niedenfuer. Why not? Ken Howell had 12 saves. Niedenfuer had 11, so we'll just use Niedenfuer. I think he's safe in a 7-2 game without blowing it. We shall see. We'll fix the pitching results for Valenzuela. He gave up 2 runs. They were both earned. Gave up 1, 2, 3 hits, 1 walk, and he struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strikeouts. So there is your line for Fernando. 8 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, and of course the home run. So, and he's obviously in line to get the win, with poor Eric Schau taking the loss. Lefferts went 1 inning, Walk and 2 strikeouts, nothing else. So the Dodgers only had eight hits, but they got 7 runs out of those 8 hits because of the 3-run homer. That's the beauty of the 3-run homer right there. So here we go. Tom Niedenfuhr, top of the 9th, 7-2. Gwynn, 11 is wheelhouse. How about that? We found Niedenfuhr's wheelhouse on the first roll. That's a 60. Gwynn is going to get a base hit, not a home run, but it's going to be a base hit for Tony Gwynn. So Tony Gwynn ropes a laser single off of Niedenfuhr. And here's McReynolds. 9 is in play, 44. That's out of range. 44, he lines it right to Steve Sachs. So 1 away for Steve Garvey. 5 is patient, 73. That's out of range. 73 is a ground ball to second. The 2 D6s are a 5, which probably means a double play. Niedenfuhr is a 5. He's a 6, so he's an 8, so that's a double play. And that's going to end the ball game. 73. Wait a minute, did I read that right? Yep, ground ball to second. So it's 4-6-3. No, wait a minute. 73 is not a ground ball to second because Garvey has 63 to 71 for a ground ball to second. 73 is a fly to center. So almost misread that. In fact, I did misread it, but at least I caught it. So it's a fly to center, not a double play. So no worries there. But there's 2 outs. It's not really, it's going to make a big difference. Here's Carmelo Martinez. And we'll get a pinch hitter for Carmelo Martinez as he doesn't fare too well against righties. They're going to bring in left-hander Marvell Wynn to pinch hit. Not that it's going to matter this late in the game, but what the hey. So Marvell Wynn is your pinch hitter with the runner at first and 2 down. 7-2 Dodgers. Trying to finish it off right here is Niedenfuhr. 9 is in play. 09. In play 09 is a base hit from Marvell Wynn. So the inning continues and the game continues. Runner advancement. Tony Gwynn's a 7, so with 2 outs he automatically gets the extra base. So he goes to third base. And runners are on the corners, and Niedenfuhr is making Lasorda sweat just a little bit. And that brings up, hello Derek Dodgers Royals fan, how are you? Niedenfuhr trying to finish it off. Here's Templeton. 8 is tough. 28 struck him out, and that's the ball game. Gary Templeton, poor Gary Templeton, took the golden sombrero 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts in the game. Wow, not a good start if you're Gary Templeton, that is for sure. Niedenfuhr gave up 2 hits. Had him for 2 strikeouts. He only struck out 1, not 2. No runs, obviously. So Padres 5 hits, 2 runs and 5 hits. I don't think there were any errors in the game. So this is what I've got officially / unofficially is the Dodgers winning this game 7-2. All 7 runs coming in the second and third inning on a 3-run homer, 2 3-run homers, 1 by Stubbs and 1 by Brock. 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Pods. Winning pitcher Fernando Valenzuela, he is now 1-0. Losing pitcher Eric Schau, he is 0-1. And the Padres will try to regroup for Game 2 to see if they can do a little bit better as we flip the page in the next game that's coming up in Game 2. It's going to be Oral Hershiser on the mound against Dave Dravecky. So they're hoping now with Hershiser on the mound, a righty, they get to bring in some of the lefty hitters like Tim Flannery and Greg Nettles will be in the game that weren't in the game in this one because we had Fernando starting, so they started some of the right-handed hitters which aren't quite as good. So that's going to do it from here. Final once again is 7-2. Padres fall to the Dodgers. And star of the game, no question about it. No other way around it. He even got a hit for himself, but Fernando Valenzuela, 8 innings pitched, 2 runs, and I believe only 3 hits. And he got a hit himself on offense. So he kind of did it all here on opening day, did Fernando. He was 21-11 in 1986, so no surprise there. So I do thank all you fine folks for joining me and helping me through this first inaugural payoff pitch game that I haven't played in ages, and the inaugural 1986 Padre game. I'll be playing a lot of these offline and inputting the stats on the Strat computer to try to track, and I have to let the computer just auto sim the other games, but I'll put all the Padre games in manually on the PC so I can keep track of their stats. I'm not worried about the other team stats, and we'll see how good or how well Payoff Pitch does as far as the stats. How close the stats come. So at Dodger Stadium, Fernando Valenzuela was the man, and he took care of us. Fernando Mania, at least for a day, here in Payoff Pitch. So hope everybody's enjoying their Thursday afternoon, early evening. World Series is over. I have to admit it, ID was right. He picked the Dodgers in 6. I picked the Rays in 6, so I was wrong. ID was correct, and if you ask ID, I'm sure he will tell you. Hello, Rick Vaughn. How are you doing? So that's good over from here. My next game will probably go back to the Mark Fidrich replay. I did download the new charts for Inside Pitch with the updated rules on it, so I really want to read them over before I play another Inside Pitch game to make sure that I have all those down pat, or at least close to down pat, before I do the next Fidrich game. So that gave me a good opportunity to bring out Payoff Pitch and get that going. So thanks to Fanomatic, Forever Maine, Mr. Utah Mike at Sports Time Machine, RJL518. Let's see, who else did I forget? Red Fan Rod, Sean D, Kurt Berglund, Salvador America, Derek Dodgers Royal fans, and Rick Vaughn. Thank you for all you guys for popping in during the live stream. Hopefully it came out okay. I'll have to watch it later and see if it did or not. I was working on the lighting. I didn't want, when I tried to do an overhead lamp, it seemed to give glare, so I just turned all the lights off, and I'm just going by the sunlight that's coming through the house. And hopefully the camera picked it up okay. Hello, Al, Red Sox fan. You came in right at the last minute to miss Fernando Mania, but you can always go back and watch it. Dodgers Fernando Mania against the Padres. And also, what I plan on doing before the next Inside Pitch game with Mark Fidrich, before I start that video, I'm going to be presenting the 1977 White Sox statistics. I've got them all printed out, and I've also got them transferred into Excel, so to make it a little bit easier to read, so you can see how the computer, or how Strat handled the 77 White Sox stats. I mean, I was pretty happy with how close they were. So I'm sure someone will probably drive safe, Al. Be careful out there. I'm very blessed to be able to work from home, so definitely don't miss that 50-minute commute through downtown at all. It's very nice to be able to log off the work computer, and basically within 5 to 10 minutes I'm set up to play a Payoff Pitch game on a video. Couldn't do that when I was working from the office, so in fact I'd probably just be getting home by now, or very close. I would have been home maybe a few minutes. So this definitely helps me have a little more time for the hobby, which I definitely appreciate. So take care, everybody. Have a wonderful Thursday. The weekend is almost here. Tomorrow is TGIF, so there you go. No more World Series, unfortunately. So, although Game 6 was certainly interesting, as the second guessers, including myself, will be out there on Kevin Cash for pulling Mr. Snell so quickly. But sometimes I guess you outthink yourself with those analytics. All right, everybody have a great night, and check out anybody else. RJL will probably have a video out there somewhere streaming tonight. Mr. Utah Mike will probably be streaming some sort of a Strat 1980 replay of some kind, and you never know, Al, Red Sox fan, might chime in with and broadcast one of those football games, which is actually pretty neat. I like I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but it's very interesting. It's a computer game, but it has really nice graphics that kind of take you a throwback to like Temco Bowl or something. But very, very neat with the mods that are offered with that game. It's very, very neat. I like watching him and Uncle Ron play those games. So that's good to go from here. Hope everybody has a wonderful Thursday evening. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.